All right, everybody, welcome and thank you. We're going to give it just another couple of minutes. All right, everyone, welcome. My name is Derek Gerard with MyRepChat, or Ion Lake, the creators of MyRepChat. And as most of you might already know, we've been approved by the Ladenburg-Thalmann Group and Investacorp for use for texting for advisors in the financial services industry. I want to do today is just go through and do a quick demo of the tool and be able to answer questions that you might have. Hopefully you've noticed I typed a little message in the chat box. I put everybody's line on mute because we had some background noise and I certainly don't want that to be an issue. So rather than trying to guess which line it might be or what might be going on, I figured it'd just be easier to put everyone's line on mute. If you have a question, please type it in the chat box or just put in the chat box you have a question and let me know which one you are and I'll unmute your line and then you can certainly ask the question as well. So I want you to feel comfortable asking questions. Please do so as we go through this. I apologize. I had to put everybody on mute because I just don't want there to be a whole lot of distractions. So to get started, what I want to do initially is just tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm an advisor myself. I've been in the industry for almost 15 years as an advisor, a compliance person, a consultant, and created MyRepChat because I probably, like many of you, had clients that continued to text me no matter how many times I told them they're not supposed to. And so rather than use one of the products that was available at the time a couple of years ago that were not designed for how we communicate, I decided the best thing to do is to create something that's unique for how we communicate with clients. So what I'd like to do today is show you the tool and see where it takes us from there. So when you log in with MyRepChat, you can do it one of two different ways. You can log in on the computer, you can log in on the phone. Keep in mind there's no difference between the two, and in fact, I'll show you how this works both ways. Robert, great question. So Robert asked here if all your personal cell phone calls will be screened. So very important, I'm glad you asked that. When you sign up and sign in for MyRepChat, in fact, I'm going to sign in here so I can show you. When you sign up, you cannot use your personal cell phone number for business texting. Now, for some of you who might be thinking your clients already know your number, please let me explain. You can't use your personal cell phone number for business texting. And if you do use it, you're not supposed to, and here's why. One, none of that stuff is secure, none of that stuff is encrypted. But if you do that, FINRA says that you immediately, if you send a business text through a personal cell phone number, you immediately subject all personal cell phone messages to FINRA review, which nobody wants. Two, the organization has no way to capture those things, monitor them, and archive them, which is exactly why we couldn't text in the past. So what happens is we either do one of two different things. We create a new number for you with whatever area code you'd like, or we can text message enable landline numbers. So if you have an office number your clients might already know, we can text message enable that. Now, please keep in mind, if your clients already know your cell phone number, let's be honest, everybody in this room, your clients knows your cell phone number. More importantly, the client doesn't know your cell phone number. The client's cell phone knows your cell phone number because you're probably a saved contact. Clients don't care if there's a new number. It's the number one piece of feedback we get, and we get it every single day. They don't care. What matters is how fast can you get your new contact information stored into their cell phone. And I'm going to show you a few ways in this demo on how to do that. So Robert, to your question, the beauty of the way we created this is that personal stays personal, phone calls and texts. Business stays business, phone calls and text. So here's my number here for MyRepChat. In the top right gear here, a couple things I want to highlight is first of all, I'm in active status. I think, if my memory serves correctly, most of you, I think your organization, Lauren, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Lauren, do they get signed up in review status or in active status?
They should be set up in review status.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to highlight that is if when you sign up for your account and you sign in for the first time, if you go to this gear and you see review right here, that means you can connect your CRM, you can create templates, you can create auto responses, you can do just about everything in this system, but you can't actually send a text message. So the organization has signed it up or signed you up in the review status, meaning they want to review the profile first, they want to approve it, and then you can go forward. So just know that you'll be alerted when it changes to active, but if you ever have any questions when you go to the gear, it'll remind you right here. There's a virtual business card built right in for everybody. You don't pay extra to have it. You don't pay extra to use it. And I'm telling you, it's one of the most important features within the tool, and I'll show you why. There's a couple other things in this setting that I want to show you. First of all, if I scroll down, sorry, I'm going to skip by a bunch of stuff. There's an out of office feature. I've had advisors say to me, Derek, I want to be able to set an out of office just like I do with my email or my phone. You can. Just right here is the out of office feature. If you use Riskalyze, we have a Riskalyze integration. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a few minutes. And I don't know, but if some of you use Marketing Pro, we have a Marketing Pro integration. So this is another feature that's built right in. FMG Suite and Broadridge are coming. Marketing Pro is live today. From a contacts perspective, if somebody wouldn't mind, my guess is, Redtail's probably a pretty popular CRM, but if somebody wouldn't mind maybe shooting me a message and letting me know if I'm wrong there when I say Redtail is a popular CRM, or maybe there's a different one you guys use. But our system allows you to create integrations with your CRM. So you can add contacts either from a CSV, you can add them manually, you can import them from your cell phone, I'll show you that in a minute, or you can integrate with the CRM. The great thing about the CRM integrations, and I'll use Redtail as an example, is it's a dynamic integration. What that means is once you create this token, it's really simple. The first time you log in, you just put in your username and password. Once you create this integration, it's an active integration, meaning it's real all the time. It's live all the time. So if I want to send a message to Robert, he's a client of mine, I can just simply type in Robert's name and search for him. It'll find him in the CRM, and I can start texting him. The other great news is as long as this toggle switch is turned on, as I'm texting Robert, our conversations immediately go back to the CRM to get stored in Robert's notes, and the notes for the client. So that's a great feature if you have it turned on. Keep in mind that this will make the conversation notes go back in real time, which can be a pain for some, because if Robert and I have a text conversation that has 10 back and forth messages, that's 10 different entries. If I don't want that to happen, go to the gear, go all the way to the bottom, and right here and turn off real-time notes. And what that'll do is instead of doing it instantly, we'll take the entire conversation from midnight to midnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll send the entire thing into the CRM notes, including all the back and forth. So very easy to do, great integration. Smart messages. This allows you to do a lot of different things. First of all, you can schedule messages with MyRepChat. So you can schedule a message to go out once. Maybe it's a meeting confirmation. You can schedule a message to go out daily, weekly, quarterly, monthly. It doesn't make any difference. You can schedule these messages. And this isn't a scheduler where it reminds you to do something. This is a schedule that it actually does it. I know we've had some advisors say, do I still have to go in and do something? No, you don't. When you schedule this message to go out, and you schedule, here for example, I want to schedule a message, I pick the person, I pick the date, I pick the time, I pick the frequency, it happens. I don't need to do anything different. That's the whole idea. And you can send messages to a group. You can schedule messages to a group, or you can send messages to a group. Please keep in mind, if I go back to contacts, you'll see the groups tab. Please keep in mind the group feature. Even if I send a message to 50 people, our system sends an individual message to every single person. Okay, so it's very important. Even if it's in the group category, our system still never actually sends a group message for compliance and security reasons, but it does save me the time and the headache of having to hit send 25 times. Templates, very important. So create these templates. There's going to be things you're going to send to clients that you're going to send to multiple clients. There's no reason to recreate these every single time. So create templates and use them. Things like happy birthday, things like maybe the first text I might send to somebody after they become a client. Maybe it's a link to my social media page. So I want someone to follow us online, but I don't want to have to type this thing in every single time. Or maybe it's something like a meeting confirmation. So I can create this meeting confirmation. Now this is an example of a meeting confirmation. This will pull in the client's first name. Okay, it's a great little cheat. But then I'm instructing the clients to do something. So to confirm the appointment, text confirm. To decline, text no. This is 100% customizable. I can say to confirm, text 1, to decline, text 2. So in this example, to confirm, text the word confirm. Well, what happens if they text the word confirm? Okay, well, I have an auto response that says, if the word confirm comes back all by itself, then I want it to respond with thanks for the reply. I'll see you tomorrow. But maybe the word no comes back. And I've set it up that if the word no comes back, and maybe I say, sorry to hear that. And I don't know if some of you may use Calendly or something like that, but here's a link to my calendar to schedule your next appointment. Or it could say something like, someone from my office will reach out to reschedule. Whatever you want it to say, you can create it that way. So the use of the templates is great. The use of the auto responses is also really important. The auto response feature is fantastic if you do seminars or workshops, because you can tell people to RSVP by texting the word RSVP, and they'll automatically get a response. Great, I'll see you on August 10th. So keep in mind, it's also a great thing if you want people to get your brochures or something like that. Use the auto response. It's a great, great time saver. But if I go over to the messages, there's a lot of different things that I can do here. And I'm wondering, is there somebody on the line who doesn't mind sending me a text message? Somebody on the webinar. In fact, I'm going to turn this thing on, and then I'm going to ask somebody, if you don't mind, anybody, if you see this number right here, send a text message. You can skip the 1, that's a country code. Send a text message to that number. We'll give it a second, wait for somebody to send a message. This is where everyone sits back and thinks somebody else is doing it, but nobody else is doing it because they think somebody else is doing it. So somebody, if you don't mind being my guinea pig, send a text. And if not, that's fine. All right, nothing yet, so that's fine. So what I wanted to show you was this auto response. I have an auto response built in here that I encourage people to use all the time that says, if I get an incoming text message from an unknown number, I want it to respond, and I left it blank for everything, respond with thanks for the message. Can you please let me know your first and last name? Because that's the first thing we're going to say anyway when we talk to somebody who's brand new or when they text us brand new. If you go here, for example, you can send images, attachments. Use this feature right here. Riskalyze, as long as I'm here, I might as well show you. In fact, let me scroll down to myself because I've got a history in Riskalyze. Right here. You can text the risk questionnaire, either one of them, to a client. They can take it. Now, why do you want to use this text to send the risk questionnaire? Or heck, why do you want to use a text at all? Here's some things to keep in mind. The average person gets 121 emails a day. On average, only 21.8% of emails are ever opened. And on average, an email takes 90 minutes to open. Okay, so 121 emails a day, 21% of those are open, and on average, it takes 90 minutes to open them. Text messages, on the other hand, have a 99% open rate within 90 seconds. So something as simple as a Riskalyze risk assessment, I can text them the risk assessment. They can take it right on their phone. It takes about 1.5 minutes to do. And not only did they get it, not only did they take it, but more importantly, their score is inside my MyRepChat system. So if I'm having a conversation with this particular client and they're acting a little bit irrational based on the market, right within MyRepChat, I can be reminded of their risk score. So I got a question here that I want to answer real quick from Robert. Will only InvestorCorp clients be listed on this system? I think it says, or it's supposed to say, or all names and contacts on the phone. So no, we don't. When you sign up for this system, your contacts are blank. The only contacts that are going to be in here are the ones that you actually engage in a business text conversation with. So whether I import them from Redtail, whether I bring them over from my personal phone, I'll show you that here in a minute. Because there's some advisors who their clients, they have more of their clients saved as a contact in their phone. They don't really use a CRM all that much. So they just want to open up their phone and pull the client contacts into their cell phone. That's the way you can do it too. But it's not all of InvestaCorp's clients or anything like that. It's only your clients and the people that you're going to exchange a text exchange with. Marketing Pro integration is right here. I don't know if anybody uses it, so I won't dive too deep in this, but the idea is it allows you to put the Marketing Pro pre-approved content right at your fingertips. Your templates are right here. All those templates that I showed you before are right here. Calendar, again, I can schedule messages. Okay, I can do that right here. I can use emojis. There's a virtual business card. The virtual business card is unbelievably important. So again, we talked earlier about the most important thing we can do is get our contact information updated in the phone of somebody else. There's 3 different ways to do that. 1, I can craft my first message to a client to read something like, this is Derek Gerard. And most smartphones, as long as it says this in the middle somewhere, the beginning somewhere, will pick up on that and invite the client or ask the person, this looks like a message from Derek Gerard, you want to update his contact info. The client says yes, save, they're done. But my solution is don't do that, because some of us have clients that are also friends, and we don't need them to be confused by having Derek Gerard in their phone with 3 or 4 different numbers. So what I do, for example, my virtual business card, it doesn't say Derek Gerard, it says Derek Gerard Business. So my clients who save my virtual business card, because all they have to do is hit a button, it sends right to them, is they save Derek Gerard Business, and they have Derek Gerard, and so they know if it's a business communication, they send that to Derek Gerard Business. If it's personal, they send it personal. But the virtual business card, here's what it looks like if you open it in the computer version, but it's the same as a contact card. Anybody's ever shared a contact on their phone, this is what it looks like. It's all of this information. It's everything that I want this client to know, and all they have to do when I send it to them on their phone is tap the save button and they can save it. Up in here in the details, I can see the information about this particular client. I can see the phone numbers I have for them in the system and which number to use for messaging. If I have multiple numbers, you have to highlight which one you want to use for messaging. I can see what CRM they're integrated with. I can see what groups they're a part of. I can add them to groups, of course. I can see the account activity. How responsive is this particular person when it comes to text messaging? So I can do all that right in the system. And then I'm going to jump over to the phone and show you how the phone looks real quick. Let me make sure it didn't freeze on me. Here we go. So I have an Android phone. Down at the bottom is the standard text messaging application that I use personally. MyRepChat is right here. So when you log in, I can use my fingerprint, which is what I have turned on. But everything I did there is here. And everything I do there is here in real time. There's no difference between the two. So this is, let me go here, for example, find one with a different context. But that conversation that I had in the computer version is here. Okay. If I go back into the top left and back into the menu, the way you can import contacts from your phone is go to the contacts button, add contacts by hitting the plus, and then import from phone. And it will let me, I agree, it will give me all the contacts on my phone. And I can pick the people I want to bring in. So whoever that might be, I pick them and I can import them right into my system. Okay, groups are right here as well. The only thing different on this version on the phone compared to the computer is only one thing different. That's this button right here, the calculators button. And the idea behind this was if you're an advisor out having a cup of coffee with somebody and they want to know what it would cost to send Johnny to college, we don't necessarily want that conversation to come to an end. And we don't necessarily want to be fumbling around on our phone trying to download a calculator. So we put some of these basic calculators right here so they're at your fingertips, knowing these are not calculators that you can send to somebody. These are calculators simply embedded in to keep the conversation moving forward. So if I hit college planning, answer these questions, hit calculate, and there's some of the numbers. Any formal recommendations, of course, need to come through something like your planning software or whatever it might be. But otherwise, everything I did on the computer, I can do right here as well. So I'd like to open it up for questions because that's MyRepChat in a nutshell. Everything that I just did, you can do when you sign up. Signing up takes about a minute and a half to do. Once you sign up, once the account gets approved outside of review status, you can begin texting back and forth with clients and prospects, whatever it might be, and know that if you've got your CRM connected, that's going to be flowing back to the client notes. And if you've got the archive is already set up for you, so it's going to get reviewed and archived from a compliance standpoint. So I've got another message. Can the system be installed on an iPad? Yes, you just download the app right on the iPad, just like you would on an iPhone. Yep, it actually looks the exact same way too. So good question, Robert. What other questions? Again, everybody's muted. There was some background noise. I can attempt to unmute everybody and see how that goes real quick. Let me see what happens. All right, so far so good. What questions does anybody have? And you are now all unmuted. Is there anything else you want to see or you want me to demonstrate? Please show how to download. Oh, so if you're on your computer, or, I'm sorry, if you're on your phone. So again, I have a Samsung. I get some background noise there. Go to the Play Store or the App Store and just search for MyRepChat. So you can download MyRepChat and sign up right from your phone. Or you can download MyRepChat and sign up, go to the link and use the computer. Lauren, can we make sure, and I'm not sure how everybody gets the link to do this, but do you know how they would get the link to sign up on the computer?
I will send it in the chat right now.
So in the chat, right where you guys are texting, there's now a URL. If you use that link, that's how you sign up on the computer. Otherwise, if you want to sign up using the app, like I was just showing you, you would use that sign up code. I think it's the third step. It's going to ask you for the group code, and that's the code you put in there. That's the one that makes sure you get put underneath the organization. Great question, Keith. I'm just scrolling up, see if there's any other questions. What else? Any other questions from the group? Or again, anything you want to see? Please send it to InvestCorp to share. And I believe Joel has this information. So I think Joel can also send that information out as well. Perfect. There you go. What else?